Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats as the ceremony will begin shortly.
Please be reminded to switch off all mobile devices or put them to silent mode. Please also know that you are required to remain seated throughout the entire ceremony.
Before the ceremony begins, let us give you a quick overview of this afternoon's program. We are delighted to have the Dean of the Chian School of Business, Professor Gerard George, open this ceremony with a congratulatory speech. This is followed by a speech by the Valedictorian, after which we will proceed to the presentation of the degrees. We seek your kind understanding and cooperation with a few quick reminders here. Graduates, please return to your seats immediately after you have collected your scrolls. All guests and graduates, kindly remain seated till the end of the ceremony, and please refrain from leaving the ceremony at any point.
As the school has engaged professional photographers to take individual and close-up shots of the graduates on stage, kindly refrain from standing up or walking around to take photographs. Graduates, we also seek your kind cooperation to refrain from taking selfies when on stage. After the ceremony, graduates will be ushered together with faculty for a group photo. All photographs will be available for download from the photographer's website 7 days after the commencement. For more details, you can check with the registrar's office after the ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in welcoming the Grand Processional. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite you to stand for the national anthem. Thank you, and please take your seats.
Dear Dean Jerry, distinguished guests, professors, graduates, parents, families, and friends, good afternoon and a warm welcome to Commencement 2018 of the Chian School of Business. My name is Trisha.
And I am William. We are both graduates of the Lee Kong Chian School of Business, and we are honored to be your MCs this afternoon. Trisha, do you still remember when we first had our convocation 4 years ago? It was such a long time ago, but it feels like it was just yesterday. It was a long day. Despite being better dressed back then, I had no idea what I was doing, nor what lay ahead of me in university. Looking back, although I don't think that we have changed much in terms of outward appearance, but my head does feel a lot fuller than it did back then.
Well, I certainly hope so. 4 years had really flown by, and I think that it's because we were always so busy mugging, participating in external activities, or even being involved in CCAs. But we definitely learned a lot, both about the world and about ourselves, especially having to learn how to function with such little sleep. This is a huge shout out to my dearest Kopio Kosongping. It was those tough times that make this achievement that much sweeter for all of us.
Still, I wouldn't fancy doing that again anytime soon. Speaking of takeaways, mine was the realization that I had changed from becoming GPA-focused to being more people-focused. That is, by helping my juniors through the mentoring circle, juggling my time between various commitments, such as CCA, studies, and other personal commitments. What once seemed like a chore became a gift as I began to see the positive impact I had had on my juniors' lives. I found myself looking forward to spending every day in school, even coming back on weekends, just to be closer to everyone. I think it also helped that my mom thought that I was spending that time studying. Well, Mom, now you know.
Well, even though we often had to sacrifice family time, yet our families were the ones to be always there to support us as we forge our way into the real world. To all our loved ones here today, I believe we can represent the graduating class in saying a big thank you. We are truly grateful for your love and support.
Also, none of this would have been possible without the hard work of the LKCSB faculty and staff, our professors who have taken the time and effort to pass on their knowledge, and also the administrative staff who have tended to our many requests and issues over the years.
Last but not least, here's a big shout out to all our peers whom we have shared these 4 years with. There is no better support than that of a friend, especially as the song Closing Time begins to play in the library after a long day. SMU would not have been the same without you all, and we look forward to many more years ahead as we move off together to the next phase of our lives. To start the program, let us welcome the Dean of the Lee Kong Chian School of Business, Professor Gerard George, to deliver his congratulatory speech to the graduates. Dean Jerry, please.
Thank you. My faculty attended my previous graduation speech. That's why they're very good with the clappers now. I'll tell you how the speech is going to go. This is a light-hearted event, so every time I say something which you think is half important, start clapping, okay? There you go. So now you get the cue. And I'm not just talking to our graduates, but also to our parents, okay? So whenever I say things that are nice about something, you should just clap. That's how it goes. There you go. You don't believe how this is going to go, is it? Okay, I'll cue you when I get it. Distinguished guests, parents, it's so wonderful to have you all of here. There you go. And to the graduating class of 2018, my sincerest congratulations. That's good. All right, wait. I have to finish my talk in like 10 minutes. Otherwise, the MC will cut me off like they did last time. I have to tell you, it gives me great pleasure to be here. Because 4 years ago, I took the responsibility of welcoming and convincing your parents that it was good for them to make a bet on SMU. It was good that despite all their concerns about which would be a better education, whether to pick whichever choices you had, I won't name the other two, but you picked us. And for that trust that you have given us. That trust that we have earned we have fought so hard to earn. Thank you very much. When the MC said something about your parents and things like that, I thought this was the lamest reception that our students gave. I know I've got two girls, 22 and 19. They don't tell me thank you enough times because I bust my bottom trying to work for them, pay their fees, make sure they wake up on time to go for class. And sometimes my daughters get up running late and they say, Mom, you didn't even put this, you didn't get the breakfast ready. So we've had 4 years of all this miserable stuff from you. The least you could do is give a genuine, honest thank you. That's still not loud enough. I need louder from this section. All right, very good, very good. So first, if they don't thank you enough, and I think they should keep on thanking you for at least another year, thank you to all the parents who are here, the family members, the grandparents. Your support has meant an incredible lot to our students. If your kids are anything like my kids, they might mumble it tonight, but let me tell you on their behalf, you are greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you. And we don't say this thank you or celebrate it enough, along with the friends that we have beside us, right? Sometimes, you know, their Facebook posts may not have been nice about you. Sometimes it was a bit of an arrow. But there were also days where you couldn't have gone through that day without your friends. So let's hear it for our friends who are graduating with us. I have to tell you, my faculty are awesome, but still, you guys, yes, thank you very much. You folks are not quite as appreciative, and we should be even more so of all our faculty here and our professional staff. Let's hear, come on. Yes, okay. I have to apologize to our parents. We may have trained your kids well with everything else, but this, I think they're just starting to learn. It's okay, it's still not done. I still have to give them the degree. So I've broken my speech up into two parts. The first part, I'd call it a little bit of boasting about how well we've done, but we can call it branding, okay? And the second part, I'll talk about takeaway message for our graduates and everybody here. I have to tell you, in the 4 years that I've been here, when I joined, I could not have told you that we were a top global school. We were trying to be. But today I can proudly say that we are, without doubt, a top 50 global business school. The effort, all of that effort goes to our students, our faculty, our staff, yes? And the even more handsome dean. She's shaking her head. My dean is not handsome. She could have been my daughter, I tell you. This is how they act at home as well. But before I go on and tell you about the school, let me tell you about how well our students have done. Your kids who are now grown up and going through another phase of their lives. I'm not going to mention all of them, but I'm going to mention a few that stood out to me. And Tangled, a group comprising marketing majors, emerged champions at the International L'Oreal Brandstorm competition. This was one of the world's largest competitions for students with over 150,000 participants from 60 countries. And guess what? Our students won it. Team Cognitare, which is our case study club, thank you to our faculty who are mentors to that. Our business case club, they have become like professional hustlers, I think. They keep winning all around the world. So I have to tell you, some of the awards they've won are at Chulalongkorn and Thammasat in Thailand, the Sauder Summit in UBC in Canada. The team also were global champions in the 2017 Global Business Case Challenge in Japan. That's like a global sweepstakes. Well done. It's not just in winning in these competitions that matter. I think our students are also among the most entrepreneurial of our Singapore students. You can clap for this as well. If you're not going to keep clapping, I have to tell you when to clap. Might as well you get used to this and clap more often, okay? Yeah. Thank you, thank you. With startup names like Shopback, Reborns, T-Box, Caro, Ninja Van, our students are doing incredible stuff in the entrepreneurial ecosystem here in Singapore and the region. For example, Kevin To and Huang Pengfei are winners of the inaugural Singapore Valley Awards. They had to compete from all around Singapore to make sure that they can get an internship in Alibaba Group in China so that they would become aware of the entrepreneurial ecosystem in China. Adrian Ang, one of our LKCSB alums 3-4 years ago, he co-founded SGAG in 2014, a content distribution platform which today reaches 2 million young Singaporeans every month. The success, yes, well done. The success has been recognized in a global scale that he and their co-founder Carl are now in the 30 under 30 in Asia Forbes list among the best entrepreneurs in the world. These are some of the indicators that tell me that we have amazing students. They are the best in the world. Each year, I also use this as an opportunity because our parents are very kiasu. They want to make sure that their investment is protected. So they always would like the dean to see how the rankings are. And so I have to tell you that we are doing fantastically well. Right? Our wealth management program for the 4th year in a row comes out in the Financial Times top 3 in the world. Our exec MBA program is ranked 24th in the world. There is one indicator or ranking which students don't talk about much, but it's one that is very important to me, that reflects the quality of our faculty. There is a University of Texas ranking. 4 years ago, that ranking measures the quality of research that each business school does. 4 years ago, we were 58th in the world. This year, we are 35th in the world. How difficult is it to be 35? Pretty difficult, okay? Why is that? Because we are number 1 in Singapore. Our business school deans, all of us get together every 3-4 months and we chat about stuff. They canceled the last meeting. At the age of 18, we are only 18 years old. All of you are older than I am. Not I am, but the school is. You're slightly younger than I am. At 18, we are the only Singapore school which is accredited by the 3 major accreditation agencies in the business school world. So we've secured the American standard, which is AACSB, the European standard, which is Equus, and there's another one that ranks our postgraduate programs in the MBA. So we've secured all 3, and we've won what is the coveted Triple Crown among business schools, and we've done so with commendations. So what this means, though, is that if I were a horse racing person, the Triple Crown is a good thing, so I would bet on us. Yeah. I have to tell you that despite all of these rankings and all of the things that we do to show how good we are, I have to tell you that the greatest joy that I get is today, because I get a year full of crap. And today is the day where the kids actually take pictures with me. I think my faculty are clapping harder than my students. It tells you something about our students today. Come on, more energy, more energy. Excellent, excellent. All right. So now I'm going to go to the serious part. I think the branding part is okay. Sorry, I took a little bit of your time just to reinforce. I know 4 years ago when I said we will build a world-class business school, you trusted us to do that. And I'm telling you today that we've done that and even better. So our message today actually is about purpose. And the school is changing along with the world of business around it. We talk about everything, something like artificial intelligence is changing the way the world is going to be and so forth. Yesterday when we had the opening ceremony, Minister Heng was talking about adaptiveness as important for us. My president, Professor Arno de Meyer, he was talking about lifelong learning and the need to learn and continually change yourselves. But I say today that we have to think about purpose and why we are doing what we're doing. So I'm going to talk a little bit about it in the next few minutes. As a school, when we are threatened with things like artificial intelligence, I have to say that we have to work hard to make sure that our institutions of natural intelligence remain relevant, remain vibrant. And how we can do that is by renewing our own purpose of meaningful impact. I serve on this committee on the Monetary Authority of Singapore. And the task of that committee is to redraft what is called the Corporate Governance Code. So in that committee, some of our discussions have been, why, Prof, does Singapore still have scandals when we have the best governance practices? To reframe that question, we have to ask, why do good people do not so good things sometimes? To answer that actually reflects, you have to have a little bit of reflection and some more research that our faculty members work on. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit from my own perspective. There are three foundations, moral foundations that guide us. The first one is utilitarianism. I always slip on that one. This idea of utility. It is an ethical tradition that directs us to decide how to act based on the consequences of our action. Whether what we are doing maximizes the overall good and bring about the greatest good for the greatest number of people. Utility is also about profit maximization. When we think about utility, I have to say our kiasu mentality also comes from utility. We want to make sure that everything we do, we have that outcome, that performance, that leverage that comes out of it. And we don't want to lose out on anything because of that. But utility or utilitarianism clouds our judgment like a lens. This morning, I have to tell you, my example is I was standing outside my condo called Grab and waiting. This driver comes, I'm waving at him, he passes me by, then comes back again, I'm waving at him again, he passes me by. And then I get really frustrated, I call this fellow, and then he comes back. And I say, boss, I've been waving at you Oh, sorry, it said Jerry George, and you're standing outside a nice condo. I didn't quite expect you. I was expecting a white guy. Utility also clouds how we judge people, right? Sometimes we think of utility as information efficiency. My finance profs will tell you that efficiency is very good. It gets you fastest wherever you go at the least amount of resources and everything else. I'm here to tell you efficiency is not everything, right? Maybe effectiveness is. So let's take our own learning. If my speech goes beyond 15 minutes, I'm sure some of the kids at the back are already using their phone to figure out what the email responses are or Facebook is and so forth. Our mind, our brain gets wired into short bursts of attention because of this tendency to be most efficient with information. We say, can you put it in 3 lines? And I'm guilty of that as well, is can you write short emails or to the point? Sometimes efficiency is good and utility is good. Sometimes it's not. Let me go back to my 2 daughters. My first one, Vivian, they're 22 and 19, so you know that. So she has a very different way when every evening we talk about stuff. She has to tell about everything that goes on in the day. And then she feels relieved. It's as though something's off her chest and she's done this. But it takes about 15 minutes for her to tell that same story, okay? My daughter Megan, who's 19, super efficient. I ask her, hey Megs, how was day today? And she says, same old. Right? But what happens in Megan is that she lets it build over time. So in about once in every 2-3 weeks, she has one of these frustration moments, and she sort of snaps out of everybody and so forth. So efficiency in that way is not necessarily a good thing because you're bottling everything up. My first one, she can't hold anything for more than a day, right? So she tells it out and she gets on with her life, but she never has these random breakout events. So for us, when we think of utility, and I'm sure the parents that are saying, yes, my son or daughter is one of the 2, right? As parents, imagine if I had one approach and said, that's the most efficient approach to work with my kids. That's probably not the best approach, right? So each kid is different. We have to think of utility in very different ways. So whenever we emphasize utility, we let go of 2 other foundations, our moral foundations. Some of you are thinking, was there more than utility? There are 2 more. The second one, which has a complicated name, is deontology. It says, and I'm going to read it out a little bit, that there are some rules that we ought to follow and duties that we ought to do, even if it prevents good outcomes. Let me say it again. There are some things that we have to do, even if it prevents good outcomes. The fundamental duty when we think of taking care of our parents, which I'm sure our parents, as they're getting older, our grandparents and so forth, they agree that there is respect and dignity for the human being that we often forget. It highlights, the moral foundation highlights that each and every human being has a right to be treated with dignity and respect. So when we judge a person by utility, we forget the respect and dignity. I tell our own marketing department, and I fight that every time because they keep saying, oh, you don't know, all the schools in Singapore are doing the same thing. They put these smiling kids and saying, oh, fantastic, an investment banker, right? And we perpetuate this myth that investment banking is a fantastic thing for all of us to do. And that if you're not an investment banker or if you've not got a job that pays beaucoup money, then you're somehow not as good, and that you judge yourself by that utilitarian scale. So I have to say that whenever we emphasize utility more, we somehow downplay respect and dignity. We judge people whether they're a cleaner, whether they're serving food, or whether they're a security guard, that we place them subtly and subconsciously in a bucket that we really don't think about often. The third foundation is one called virtue ethics. Right? Virtue are character traits. Like in SMU, we think about the circle values. Do we know what the circle values are? Very good, very good. Commitment, integrity. My faculty are telling me this. Responsibility, collegiality, leadership, and excellence. Our curriculum is designed around those values. We try to reinforce those values. You may not think of those values every day, but it's somehow integrated into who you are. Virtue ethics is who you are rather than what you do. This focus on who you are. This afternoon, we've hired lots of temps there to help us with the gowns and make sure that all of you get their gowns. I was walking out of this restroom. In the corner of the eye, got this fellow. This fellow, he's one of our temps, working temps there. He tried this three-point shot in the toilet with this tissue paper. And of course, three-pointers never work. It misses. But in the corner of my eye, what I noticed was this fellow misses it. It falls close by. But some of us would have just walked past. He picks it up and puts it back in. Right? Virtue is about who you are when nobody's looking. It's about what defines you. That fellow's name is Farhad, by the way. I just checked his name. He doesn't know that I'm going to talk about him in the graduation speech. So virtue defines who we are. Not necessarily what we do, but who we are. When we think about pulling all of these things together, I think who we are and our purpose is defined by these three foundations. Utility is important. I'm not saying utility is not important. Your parents say, hey, I paid all this fees for you to go to this fancy SMU because we want you to get a job, earn money, and make sure you pay back the loans. Utility is important. But we shouldn't let utility be the lens that clouds our judgment. We should make sure that we emphasize respect and dignity. And it should be ingrained in us to be respectful and to understand dignity and to espouse the values of virtue. SMU, I think, is successful because of its focus on purpose. I say that because both my faculty members are here and my staff members are here. It's really difficult to give you results like we are a top 50 global business school while staying local. How do I balance this need of making sure I can compete globally, but while at the same time making sure that I deliver for our citizens? This balance is always about how you make the call, and the tiebreaker is always about purpose and whether you're having meaningful impact. For our researchers, professors who are here, they constantly have this fight. Sometimes I say it's easier they get something called tenure and promotion based on how they publish. Sometimes it's easier to do these quick studies, these lab studies perhaps, or quick data fix, and then publish it so that they can get promoted. Sometimes this need for career progression for all of us contradicts our own purpose. Should we really be thinking about how we achieve meaningful impact by taking longer-term projects with impact? How do we balance these constant tensions within ourselves? But I have to say that our quest for meaningful impact has to be our North Star. Last month, I also had a second graduation. The last time I had a graduation was 21 years ago. I got my PhD. Last month, I got my second PhD. They gave it to me free, of course. Thank you, thank you. I received an honorary doctorate from the University of St. Gallen. So before that day, I was walking around in St. Gallen, which is a small town at best, near Zurich in Switzerland. So there's this old abbey library, which was established in the 5th century. And that abbey library has some of the best treasures of medieval Europe, literature and so forth. So one of those manuscripts was written by this person, this monk who became saint, right? Saint Gall. And he talks about, in his manuscript, about these 12 abuses in life. By abuse, I think he meant that you've wasted your life if you've not done something, or you've squandered it away as an opportunity. And he gave some examples that stuck in my mind. He said, you've abused your life if you are an old man without faith, a community without order, a young man without obedience. I say man because that's what was written in the manuscript. This is like 5th century, so you have to include women to make sure that our women here don't think it excludes them. A rich man without charity, and a wise man without good works. So he says you've abused your life that if you've not done these things. And what he's talking about is to make sure that you have purpose. Given that I'm in the company of professors, students, parents, and everybody else, my message to you today is to reflect on your purpose. To fall back on our moral foundations, we've got 3 of them, rather than just on utility. When we focus on career aspirations alone, we let go of the other 2. So let us make sure what we do has a positive impact. For the graduating students here, I have some simple lessons that have helped me in my life. The first is, try to be the hardest working person in your team. If a job requires, let's say, 9 hours, make sure you put in 10 hours. And I do that simply because I invest that marginal hour in myself. Or I invest that marginal hour in somebody beside me so that they can grow alongside me. So for us, we have to think about, when we think about purpose, it's not just about me, but bringing everybody else along. And when we think of purpose, we think of utility, respect, dignity, and our own virtues. And if we do that, we will never go astray. Before I end, I have to say, you are now part of the SMU family. Please, thank you. Please stay connected. Join our alumni. Be an active partner. We need each other for growth and to reaffirm our own purpose. Please come back and lend a helping hand wherever you can and be a champion. Never speak badly of SMU, never. Because when you do, you also bring yourself down, right? Always make sure in a positive light that you can bring people along with goodness and purpose. And if you feel like it, come back for a master's. I'll take you there as well. Or a PhD. I want to close by just wishing all of us, that's our faculty, our students, our staff members, our parents, this message goes to all of us that we want to find our purpose together, and let's journey through life with purpose. Today's your big day. Go have a great time. I wish you success in whatever you do. Congratulations, best wishes, and make sure that you never, ever forget your purpose. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Jerry. The next person coming on stage is someone whom I have known since my national service days. In fact, he was one of my trainees back then when I was an instructor. So Trisha, seeing as he's now the valedictorian, it seems that I must have done a good job.
What? No.
I'm just kidding. I really cannot take any credit for his many achievements and the underlying motivations that power him. Not only does he exemplify academic excellence, he also strives to create an impact both within the university and in external communities.
Over the past 4 years, he has represented SMU as the leader of Project Namaste, which works with teachers to improve conversational English standards among Nepalese youths. Back at SMU, he has served as president of both the SMU Wushu Club as well as the SMU Sports Union. As SSU president, he dedicated a significant amount of time to look out for the best interests of SMU sports clubs both off and on the field, while inspiring them to be similarly game on in life.
Let us now invite this year's DBS Bank School of Business Valedictorian, Shannon Ko Chikai, on stage to deliver his valedictorian speech. Shannon, please.
Good afternoon, Dean Jerry, Deputy Deans, Associate Dean, LKCSB faculty and staff, distinguished guests, parents, family, and friends. We have gathered here today to celebrate the end of an amazing journey in an institution that many of us would call a second home. Congratulations, class of 2018, we have made it. The buzz in our heads, generated by 4 years of seemingly impossible deadlines and hell weeks, have now been silenced. And we all find ourselves here today, smiling to ourselves, a few of you a bit more obvious than the others with your smiles, because we have conquered every challenge that seemed insurmountable to us. On behalf of the graduates, I would like to express our sincerest gratitude to the faculty and staff who have groomed us to be the confident SMU graduates of today as we move into the next phase of our lives. Now, life at SMU was never easy. A friend's mother once shared an analogy that stuck with me throughout my 4 years here, and I hope this resonates with you as well. She said, "I have heard that life at SMU is like a boxing match. You go in and you punch frantically for 15 weeks, and then you just repeat it 8 times until you graduate." No truer words have been spoken. At some points, we can have 4 midterms, 2 individual assignments, 3 projects, some CCA thing that we have to commit to, and a job interview to prepare for, all within the span of 4 days. It may have sounded like I was rambling, but I bet every single one of us here has said something similar to a friend in the past 4 years. And even during the breaks between the rounds, we had to keep up with activities such as internships, community service. It never stops, and sometimes we may have found it hard to catch our breath. However, a few rounds in, we start to realize that we are getting more confident with our punches, and we even find a few opportunities to land a great combo. We have been battered, but never defeated, and as we look back, we've all grown stronger and wiser. Now today, as this final bell is being sounded on our very exciting boxing match, I feel that there are some lessons that we can take into the new and upcoming sport, which we call the game of life. Life is a marathon, a race that stretches on, and one which we should run at our own pace. So first, let us not worry about the things that we cannot change, but instead focus on the things that are within our control and work on them. A boxer of my stature may be limited by height, but we'll just have to find some other things to work on, like speed or strength. We may not be able to control how others feel about us, but we can definitely work on ourselves to become better people. Indeed, 24 hours a day is simply too short a time for us to spend it on worrying and self-doubt. And I'm sure there are now many past worries that now all seem trivial and unimportant to us. I learned this when I started my term as the president of SMU Sports Union, but on crutches. So I tore a few ligaments in my knee, and suddenly I became the sports union president who could not participate in any sports. It's quite ironic. But because of that, I started to doubt myself and worried that I was unfit or incapable to lead. However, my team soon made me realize that they didn't choose me because of my sporting abilities, but rather they chose me because they believed in me as a person and held faith that I would not let them down. From them, I learned that we just have to trust ourselves and work on the things that are within our control. There are simply too many variables in this world, but only that little time and effort that we can afford to give as individuals. So we have to choose wisely. Next, Just as every boxer has his or her own fighting style, so do we as individuals, and that is what I feel SMU has encouraged us to embrace. And yes, I'm referring to class part. So in true SMU spirit, let us be confident of our own perspectives while keeping in mind that others are encouraged to do the same as well. Life is full of opportunities for continuous and perhaps ungraded class part. And sometimes all we need is a little push from each other. I think many of us here would have had instances in class when we just had something on our minds to say, but we don't say it because we were unsure of its importance or its relevance. However, upon a quick prompt from the prof along the lines of, you look like you have something to say, or your irritated friend beside you telling you to just say lah, we quickly realized that we were actually spot on. Or maybe not. But in those cases when we actually got it right, we suddenly feel so much more engaged in class. And even the lights in a room seem a bit brighter. In life, we are surrounded by people whose views can add value to ours. By participating and encouraging participation around us, we can be a catalyst for growth in any environment that we may be placed in. Now, finally, as all the crowds leave our ringside and all our glamour fades away, we quickly realize that it is the people who have been with us on our journey that stay on. They are like the coaches, the teammates, the family and friends, and perhaps a die-hard fan. In the years to come, we will meet many people, but let us not forget to take time to appreciate the people who believed in us and walked with us along the way. At this point of time, I would just like to take the opportunity to thank my friends. You guys know who you are, especially my 12th SMU Sports Union Management Committee and my friends from Project Namaste for creating my best memories here at SMU. Last but definitely not least, parents and my family for their unconditional love and support. Thank you, class of 2018. It has truly been a spectacular match with all of you. Now, as we remove and lay down our boxing gloves, let us cast aside our worries, be confident, and go out there to find our personal best. Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon.
We will now proceed to the presentation of awards, followed by the presentation of the Bachelor of Business Management degrees.
Without further ado, let us invite the Dean, Professor Gerard George, and Senior Lecturer Ma Keng Min on stage as we proceed to the presentation of the various degrees. Dean Jerry and Senior Lecturer Ma, please.
Graduates to return to your seats immediately after receiving your degrees and remain seated to the end of the ceremony.
Parents and friends, once again, please refrain from taking photographs with your personal cameras. Graduates, we also seek your kind cooperation to refrain from taking selfies when on stage.
Tae Jang Lun Kenny, summa cum laude, double degree, Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Accountancy, winner of the ABS Outstanding Graduating Business Student Award, Deloitte and Touche Gold Medal Award, joint winner. Good job. Rachel Ng Jing Yi. Rachel Tay, cum laude. Regine Ho Jia Hui, cum laude. Ria Aurora. Ria Kapoor. Robin Hu Xiaoyuan. Ryan Chan Wei Yao, magna cum laude. Ryan Nicholas Ling Shaw. Samantha Lau Li Xia. Samuel Lim Yong Jie, summa cum laude. Samuel Melo Vivas Valaroman, magna cum laude. Sandra Leong Hui Sing. Sandy Wong Sean Yi, summa cum laude, Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Science Economics. Sarah Chan Hui Juan. Xia Ting Ni Denise. Sean C. Hanwei, magna cum laude. Tricia Tang Yan Ning, magna cum laude. William Sing Lung Weri, summa cum laude. C.E. Chin, cum laude. Sid Jun Hao, cum laude. Sid Sydney Jolene. Seong Yu Hin, magna cum laude. Xiao Kian Yu Caleb. Sham Keng Yun, cum laude. Sean Aoyong Liang Wei, magna cum laude. Sean Sinclair Lau Wei Kit, cum laude. Shamin Tan Ying Ling. Shawin Tan Wei Yu, cum laude. Cheryl Long Si Xuan, cum laude. Shri Bidasarya, summa cum laude. Shruti Sharavana Kumar. Shruman Balasarya. Sim Wan Yi. Sim Ziying Isabella. Simran Rajiv Karachandani. Sincere Yong Shan Si. Jinwei Jonathan. Xiao Tun Ho. Xiao Yun Han, cum laude. Siti Mariam Binte Jumsadi. Sheng Jiale Hadi Faris. So Kian Tiong Nicholas. So Simin. So Zhang Yi Nicholas, magna cum laude. Soma Sundaram Alagu. Sophia Wei Ying Jie. Shristi Agarwal. Stephanie Grace Liu Qihui, cum laude. Stephen Halim. Su Yicheng. Susrut Jindal. Sito Zhengjie, magna cum laude. Tammy Yosi, summa cum laude. Tan Chai Fan. Tan Yi Huan, cum laude. Tan Guan Han, Shane. Tan Hong Rei, cum laude. Tan Hua Yu. Tan Hui Wang, Michelle. Tan Jiaying, Jacqueline, cum laude. Tan Jingting, Marcus, cum laude. Tan Junhao, Terence, summa cum laude. Tan Li Hong. Tan Li Xuan. Tan Li Ting. Tan Li Wen, Vivian. Tan Li Yi, Claudia. Tan Matilda Elizabeth, cum laude. Tan Mingjie Joel. Tan Pei Euphemia. Tan Ping Yi, summa cum laude. Tan She Yun. Tan Shi Yun, Jasmine. Tan Shu Jin, cum laude. Tan Siu En, Hannah, cum laude. Tan Sun Lee, Aaron, cum laude. Tan Su Ying, Trini. Tan Wan Xin. Tan Wei Jian, magna cum laude. Tan Wei Jie, cum laude. Tan Wei Long, summa cum laude. Tan Wei Ting. Tan Wei Zheng Justin, cum laude. Tan Xing Le. Tan Xiu Yuan, cum laude. Tan Yong Ying. Tan Yu Xuan Sean, cum laude. Tan Yu Rui. Tan Yu Xian, cum laude. Tan Zheng Wei Sean, magna cum laude. Tang Yok Ting, cum laude. Tang Kai Ling. Tanushri Rohira, cum laude. Te Te Jing, cum laude. Te Ming Lak, summa cum laude. Te Ray En Ryan, magna cum laude. Te Yun Ting, Anthea, summa cum laude, Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Science, Economics. Te Ray Ling Al Emporio, cum laude. Ding Yu Cheng. Teo Bun Ki Shireen, cum laude. Teo Chi Xiang. Teo Chia Min, cum laude. Teo Chiang Yue, Claire. Teo Gyok Min. Teo Jun Xiang, Sydney. Teo Li Hui, magna cum laude. Teo Zicong Xavier, cum laude. Teresa To. Tham Kai Rong, cum laude. Tang Yong Xuan, magna cum laude. Theodoric Fei Kiet, magna cum laude. Teng Jun Hao, summa cum laude. Dong Zhengwen, Lincoln. Tiara Azalia Kamarudin. Timothy Mark Chu. Ting Qi Yu. Teng Jiahao, cum laude. Teng Jian Zhong. To Chong Li, summa cum laude. To Guiling, cum laude. To Kun Yi, Kevin. To Yi An, summa cum laude, Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Science, Information Systems. To Yuhen Emmanuel, cum laude. To Yiying Ivania. Tu Junxiang. Zheng Guihe. Dong Ling Win, winner of International Trading Excellence Award. Valerie Chang Wei Feng, magna cum laude. Vanessa Ang Sin Yi. Vanessa Go Tian Hui. Venkata Srinaga Sudashana Jayashira Pasamati, magna cum laude. Varghese Vijay Thomas. Victoria To Tien Chi, cum laude. Vincent Ho Wei Sheng, cum laude. Vinod Ilan Govan. Virgil Lee Bang Jin. Vivian Ho Wei Yan, magna cum laude. Vongap Huang Leng. Wallace Wu Yi Chong, summa cum laude. Wang Qianling Celine, magna cum laude. Wang Jiahui, magna cum laude. Wang Peng. Wei Hui Min, cum laude. Wei Zifeng, magna cum laude. Wen Wanying. Wilson Teo Wei Sheng. Wang Aiyun. Wang Bunhui Dixon. Wang Changwei Darren. Wang Chengyin, cum laude. Wang Huilin, Valencia. Wang Junjue Jie, Kenneth, cum laude. Wang Mingqi, Felicia. Wang Ruiyi, Amanda, magna cum laude. Wang Wei Ming. Wang Weilin Ryan. Wang Yiting. Wang Zhiying Selena. Wu Jiamin, magna cum laude. Yap Zihao, cum laude. Yanaton Manuel Vira Maja. Yang Yi, cum laude. Yao Su Yu. Yap Jiawen. Yap Simin. Yap Yuting. Yap Yushen Natania. Yi Junwen, winner of International Trading Excellence Award. Yi Peiying Jamie. Yo Junwei, cum laude. Yo Kai Chuan, Danny. Yo Ning Kai, Kevin, cum laude. Yo Yen Ru. Yong Hui Jia. Yu Wei Jin Don. Yu Yan Tung Crystal, cum laude. Yong Li Ru, Cheryl. Yorisan Kosugi. Yu Kai Sing Regina. Zachary Luke K. Yun, cum laude. Zhen Li Jialin. Zelda Ko Su Min. Zilik Leong, cum laude. Zhang Dawei, magna cum laude, double degree, Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Science, Economics. Zhang Peilun, magna cum laude. Zheng Tianbai. Zhou Yueqi. Rex Li Jiaho, magna cum laude, Bachelor of Laws, Bachelor of Business Management. Sim Mei Yi, magna cum laude, Bachelor of Laws, Bachelor of Business Management. Lo Xiao Yu, cum laude. Yash Agawa.
Thank you, Dean Jerry and Senior Lecturer Ma.
Dear professors, guests, graduates, families, and friends, thank you for being here today to share this important milestone in our life.
As this ceremony draws to a close, we'd like to invite all the 2018 graduates to stand up and adjust your tassels from the right to the left to indicate that you have graduated. And now, the usual tradition at the end of commencement, and the moment all of us have been waiting for, the celebratory toss. So would the graduates please stand up?
Everyone ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. We now formally declare this ceremony closed. Just one last housekeeping matter. May we request for all families and friends to remain seated so as to enable the faculty and graduates to leave the hall for the group photo. And now, may we invite the Dean to lead the grand recessional. Dean Jerry, please.